paralysis by analysis. That's what you get from the other guys, but not here, not now, and not ever. This is the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. A look deep inside the game from a former player's perspective. The Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA, is brought to you by BCWSA, The Pines Tavern, Penn Community Bank. We now go live for the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. Now, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazer, and former pitcher from the 93 National League champion Phillies, Tommy Greene.
All right, welcome to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA, live from the CP Rankin Club at Citizens Bank Park. I'm John Brazer, joined by my co-host, Tommy Greene. And Tom, we got a great show today because of the last 2 weeks. I think we say the same thing. What's our record this week?
5-2. We're winning.
Yes, we are winning.
And this is the best time. It's the best time we've ever done the radio because Brazer is happy.
Well, I think everyone in the Delaware Valley is happy. This is historic, and I'm going to go through some numbers too.
I bet you haven't been pacing like you used to. And,
no, I still
you're feeling good about it.
Now that we keep raising the bar, you want to keep winning, so it doesn't end in that regard. But just an awesome week in baseball, which we're going to talk about, including a dramatic extra win in Queens on Monday night.
How about that?
I was there. I was at the game.
Really?
Yep.
That's why we won.
We'll talk about that.
Some mojo.
Yep. And I'll talk to you about my sprint to catch the last train. Otherwise, I might have been spending the night in Queens. That was Monday night.
Good.
We will talk about a gem thrown by Aaron Nola the next night.
Wow.
Who is going today. We're going to talk about an outstanding start by Wheeler. And then, of course, we're going to start with the dramatic come-from-behind win in extra innings last night. Absolutely phenomenal. We're also going to go around baseball. We're going to give some news and stats around the league. We're going to have several guests today. We're going to have a new media representative here.
How about that?
We're going to
have blood, huh?
Yep. We're going to have PHLY Sports, John Phillie. He covers the Phillies for PHLY Sports. If you don't know what that is, it's brand new this year. We'll let him explain, but it is they film down in Fishtown, and they cover the Phillies from a writing point of view. They have an hour podcast every day for every team with different writers. So I know Salisbury's involved, and he's got Anthony Gargano's involved. So John Phillie is the baseball writer for PHLY. So we'll talk to him. We're going to have former Phillies outfielder and former All-Star and top prospect in the game, Dominic Brown, is going to be here.
How about that? That's good. Yeah, he's in the area, too, which is good.
He is in the area, because we got a lot to talk about with Dominic. We're going to talk about he actually he trains kids.
Yes, he does.
And he was on it's funny, I kind of helped him get this on this TV program that was run on a national program about his job. So that'll be pretty cool to talk about that. And, of course, we're going to have Jason Firestone, our favorite guest. No offense to anybody else.
That's a must. I was fixing to say, I was hoping you won't say his name.
He is going to be bringing some great food.
Chris was too over
there. Yep. Well, you better hope, guys, that Dominic Brown's not. He's a big boy. So when Dominic Brown gets here, and if the food arrives when Dominic's here, Chris Hermer, you might not get any food.
I'll give you mine, Chris. Hey, I'll hook you up, bro.
All right. And, of course, we're going to set you up for today's game against the Washington Nationals, where we go for the sweep. Tommy, we're going for the sweep. How about that?
Hey, I like it. I like to have that opportunity. We've been saying stuff like that for the most part of the year. After the first 2 weeks of the season, that's what we've been talking about.
I know. Well, all right.
Possible sweeps and at least winning the series. That's what it's about, man.
Let's talk about last night. So the weather was kind of miserable. It was just –
That's something that has been unbelievable. The weather.
Really,
it's brutal.
That's why I love today. Is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
So last night, drizzle rain, right? Drizzle rain, and they delayed the game a little bit, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And right from the start, Sanchez gives up 3 hits. Boom, boom, boom. First 3 batters. And I'm sitting there going,
they come out swinging, as they say.
And they were very aggressive.
They were hacking.
Now, the funny thing is, Sanchez is almost the exact opposite of what happens most times.
Yeah.
Most times, guys, they'll start off, pitchers will get off hot, and then you always hear about third time through the lineup, and you got to worry about the pitcher because then now they've seen him twice, and usually the ERA goes up. Sanchez is the exact opposite. He starts off slow, and he gets better and better and better.
That's sort of like that was me back in the day.
And
a little bit. And don't give me the first couple innings, it was game on.
Game on, right? Well, and I tell you what, he gets out of that because he gets up a run, but he gets a key double play and then gets out of it with his strikeout.
He's got a knack, man. With that good ball down in his own, his sinking fastball. He's throwing harder this year, but that good changeup too. He gets those ground balls, which gives him a chance to get out of those.
Well, yes, and last night he was on. He was his fastball. You said that right there. His fastball was 96 to 98 at certain times. He was probably the hardest he's thrown all season, and as you said, he kept it low, so they couldn't barrel it up. Other than the first three batters, they weren't barreling it up. They were missing. They were swinging. His changeup was working. I tell you what, that's our fifth starter.
Well, yeah, I mean,
that's our fifth starter, Tommy.
I mean, with the stuff we've had go, I mean, the way it's been going this year, I mean, you leave it alone,
Yep.
I mean, he's to me, he's solidified himself where he needs to be, I think.
Well,
he deserves that right to be there. You know what I mean? And we just happen to have, when Walker's healthy, we got one too many guys that are pitching well.
Right.
So.
Which we'll take every time.
Yeah, we got to figure talking about Walker, but you just said something about the double play balls and stuff. He keeps it, knock on wood, sort of keeping it in the yard. You look at the stats the last 7 games, what we've done.
Yep.
Last week we gave up 3 home runs as a pitching staff. That was just the last 7 games.
Yep.
So
take that.
We're keeping it in the yard because we've been here too. Playing. So I mean that's a huge thing. You keep it in the yard. So.
Well, Sanchez completed 7 innings for the second time this season. And he clips the 200-inning mark for his career. All 5 of his career starts of at least 7 innings have come at Citizens Bank Park. So he loves pitching.
That's awesome, man.
At Citizens Bank Park.
At this yard, too. We talk about that game. You're getting into the game now, right?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead. Have at it.
Yeah, so we get down 1-0 the very beginning, right? And it's slow. Good.
Yeah, that was important something.
Yep, and that Mackenzie Gore, and I mention this every time because Mackenzie Gore went to the same high school as Tommy Greene.
Yes, he did.
Right, so and also there's a football player there.
Chester McLaughlin.
Chester McLaughlin, a Raider.
All pro. He was all drafted by the Raiders in the first round, played with the Raiders, Broncos, Chiefs. God bless his soul. He's passed away years ago.
Okay.
He had a heart issue. It was about 10 years ago, probably.
Okay.
At least.
Well,
he was at maybe
in that
40,
small
42.
town of Whiteville.
Yeah.
They produce 3 very good athletes. Super good. So,
well,
all right.
Good area down there.
So here's what we got. We got, so again, they get off to a 1-0 start.
Yeah.
Then in this 4th inning, we get some guys on base, but Stott grounds into the double play.
Yeah.
Harper scores, Bowman second. So we tie it up.
Tied up.
Right? Then this is going to be a pattern. We tied up. They take the lead. We tied up. We take the lead. We tied up. So they take the lead again in the 5th. Abrams, who was a thorn in her side, singles, right?
He has been a thorn in the side, hasn't he?
He has been. So
pain in the butt.
Yep. So they go up 2-1. But the bottom of the 7th, Stott has been a great player the last month. I mean, talk about
he has. He's turned it on. Especially this week. He's the guy this week for definite.
So he homers to right center to tie it up. 2-2.
Lefty on lefty.
Yep. Then the 9th inning comes in, and Kirkring is the pitcher, and they get a couple guys, right? It looks like they're going to get out of it on a double play.
Yeah.
And Stott gets the ball, and he was a little – I don't know if it was too casual. I don't know if he underestimated the speed, but Winker outran him.
Yeah.
Winker basically – it looked like it was going to be a casual all right, I got Dominic Brown calling me right now.
He's probably maybe he can't make it.
I guess we can't make it right now. All right, so anyway, we can't get out. It's 2 outs. We can't get out of the inning. And next thing you know, they do score a run to go 3-2. And it's a shame because I'm thinking we could have gone to the bottom of the 9th. And then, all right, then we get to the bottom of the 9th, and it's 2 outs.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's 2 strikes, but I'm going to say 2 strikes just for the dramatic purposes. And how about Cody Clemens?
I tell you what,
hits the home run to the furthest part of the ballpark, 413 feet.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So
I tell you what, he's had some big moments this year already.
Cody Clemens is a stud.
I tell you what, that's a big spot. Me and Mr. Irmer were talking about it before the show started. It's been a different guy.
Yep.
Everybody's coming
time.
in. It's been unbelievable the way it's happened, and that's what's so great about this run. that they're on. It's not just one guy getting hot and carrying it. It's the whole team. They're like taking turns at doing different things and finding ways to win.
Yep.
Which is. And last night was a dramatic one at the end. Holton, you don't like it to do that. Brazer sort of his heart kind of gets on him a little bit, but he starts pacing around. But that's all right. But it was great to see that. I'm so happy for him.
Well, it was his first career game-tying home run in any inning. It was the hardest hit home run of his career. The guy's been clutch, and I tell you, he's going to make some decisions tough when Turner comes back.
Yeah.
Because he's playing so well. But then we tied up. Soto comes in, right? Comes in, 2 strikeouts. Soto comes in throwing gas.
That's the guy we've been waiting for.
Yes, and he kept the ball low. Now I was thinking about it. Think about the trade we made. We made a trade. Dombrowski made the trade where we gave up Nick Maton and Matt Vierling to the Tigers.
Yeah.
Right, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And what did we get back? We got Gregory Soto.
Yep.
And we got Cody Clemens. And I think there was somebody else thrown in there. Well, thank you, Dave Dombrowski, because I don't know what Maton and Vierling are doing.
When they made that trade, I was like, whoopee. Just for the arm.
Right.
The arm itself, because the capability of what Soto can do.
Throw gas, yeah.
I mean, the type of arm, now it's all about going out there and doing it, and having success, but the possibility, and then that with Cody, that was all about him displaying.
Yep.
Just getting the opportunity, and right now, it seems like every time we do, it happens, he does something.
He comes up big.
Yes, he does.
Well, then Soto basically shuts him down, and then you kind of knew the crowd was a sellout crowd. People were on their feet. We had the ghost runner on second.
Yeah.
Right. We
got him over.
It was interesting. They walked Schwarber.
Yeah.
Right, which is interesting because they walked Schwarber,
trying to get a double play set up.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I guess I don't know. You got to think maybe take the risks. If you strike out that first batter in the ninth, the ghost runner on second, that changes the dynamic, right?
Yeah.
And Schwarber can kill you, but Schwarber can also strike out. So
Well.
it was an interesting decision.
Yeah.
But obviously they were very respectful of Schwarber's abilities.
Yeah.
So then JT has a very good at bat. He gets a fly ball to center field, and the beauty of Rojas, of his speed,
he's fast,
and he tags up right away and gets a third. They don't even make a throw; they throw it to the cutoff.
Yeah.
So now it's first and third,
1 out
with 1 out. Harper gets 2 strikes on him, right? And I don't know how he did this. I don't know how that ball.
That was a good pitch.
He's facing Finnegan, who's one of the top. Believe it or not, even though the Nationals are terrible,
that was a nasty off-speed pitch,
Finnegan's
too.
one of the nastiest closers out there. I think he had the most saves in the National League, if I'm not mistaken. And he's got a nasty sinker, right? Or splitter.
Well, it was off-speed pitch he hit. It was like a 91, 92-mile off-speed pitch.
But it was down almost by the dirt.
Yeah, it was down and away.
With 2 strikes, and Harper lunges at the ball and somehow gets enough on the ball where the outfielder had to back up. If it was just enough where the outfielder's coming in, well, he might have a shot.
Oh, it was far enough. It was far enough in the gap. It was far enough in the gap.
Think about the strength that he has. That it's that ball is down low. It looked like he just kind of reached for it.
Well, see, that's the thing, Brazer. You look. If you can visualize this the way he did, he stayed on it.
Right.
With everything.
Yes.
His body stayed on that
yes.
pitch. What it showed me, he was giving himself up. You don't see that. You don't see that a lot these days with 2 strikes.
Yep.
Back in the old day, that was the approach. 2 strikes, up until 2 strikes is yours, right?
Yep.
But 2 strikes, it's the team's.
Yes.
You see a lot of still big swings with 2 strikes. That wasn't a big swing.
No.
That was stay on the pitch, and he hit it on the screws. But a pitcher's pitch. All they were looking for was a fly ball to the outfield, and that's exactly what it.
And Kevin Franson, who's in
and that's perfect.
Former Phillies, Kevin Franson. I heard Francie say on the postgame show, came into the booth, and he was a teammate of Harper, and said, how did that guy do that? How did Harper reach that low, put that much power on?
He gave himself up.
He did.
He gave himself. He knew probably, he bought into it. He said, I'm going to get it.
All right, well, consider a career at Septa. Septa is hiring a variety of skilled trade positions, including mechanics, electricians, plumbers, masons, painters, carpenters, welders, millwrights, and more. As a Septa employee, you will earn competitive compensation and great benefits, including medical, dental, prescription, and a pension. Visit jobs.septa.org to apply today. That's jobs.septa.org. All right, Tommy, coming up, we're hoping to have John Phillie.
Yeah.
I know at some point from PH LY.
Yeah.
But we are also going to have Dominic Brown, who's here. Yep. Well, I heard from Dominic. He's definitely coming back down.
Okay, good.
And continue to talk about the week and get you set up for today. You're listening to the Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. We're live from the CP Ranking Club at Citizens Bank Park.
BCWSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing or two about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your service area. You can even customize your alerts by going to bcwsa.net. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, your partner for a safer environment. BCWSA, proven.
Energy costs are skyrocketing. Now's the time to upgrade your old heater and air conditioning systems to more efficient units to save on your utility bills. Harris Comfort can also handle all your propane needs, as well as providing sales and service on whole house generators. Harris Comfort is still family owned and has been serving our area for over 60 years, providing sales, service, installation, and peace of mind. Call 215-788-4596 or go to harriscomfort.com. Harris Comfort, still family and still local.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, to get all your essentials in one place, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Hair Cuttery, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, R&J Smoothies and Juices, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one stop for all your shopping needs at South Oxford Valley Road and South Olds Boulevard in Fairless Hills.
Think banking hasn't changed? Think again. At Penn Community Bank, we've been helping communities thrive for 150 years. From our nationally recognized Access Checking that offers the peace of mind of no overdrafts, to student and free checking plus options with perks that will make you wonder what you did without them, like early direct deposit, overdraft grace, and Zelle. Learn more at PennCommunityBank.com/products. Penn Community Bank. Here we grow. Account and feature terms, restrictions, and conditions apply. Ask for full details. Member FDIC.
With over 7,200 square feet of 200 brewers in stock at all times, Pat Dion Beverages now features 5 different flavors of their favorite slushy cocktails. You can also purchase all your wine, liquor, and other fine spirits right next door. Visit us on Facebook or online at patdionbeverages.com for upcoming events and samples from your favorite brewery or local food vendor.
We now return to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazer, and former pitcher from the 93 National League champion Phillies, Tommy Greene.
All right, we're back to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. We're live in the CP Ranking Club at Citizens Bank Park. I'm John Brazer, joined by my co-host Tommy Greene, and I think we're going to have Dominic Brown coming up pretty soon. And Tommy, as I mentioned, consider a career at Septa. Septa relies on and needs bus operators, train engineers, and conductors. As a Septa employee, you'll earn competitive compensation, great benefits, including medical, dental, prescription, and a pension. Visit jobs.septa.org to apply today. That's jobs.septa.org.
Speaking of that, Braze, they need bus drivers and stuff like that. What that reminds me of what I was just talking to you about. The Bronx Tale.
Oh, you went to the Bronx Tale last night.
The Bronx Tale, and the kid's dad was a bus driver.
That's great.
Well, Chaz is, it's about his life.
Great movie.
And unbelievable.
Yep.
Great time. Big baseball fan, by the way.
Is that right?
Yes, he is.
Probably a Yankees fan?
Yeah,
I guess.
He was.
All right, you can listen to the radio show on 1490 WBCB and 107.3 FM, your station in Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County. You can also watch it live at WBCBsports.com or search WBCB Sports on YouTube. All right, Tommy, ready? It is time now for the Smart Stat of the Week, brought to you by Payroll Service Solutions.
Oh, you got
Call
a good
them
one.
today at 1-866-PAY-EASY. That's 1-866-PAY-EASY. And, yes, I've got a lot of them.
Boy, I know
when we go well, we have a lot of them. So here we go. Here is your Payroll Service Solutions Smart Stat of the Week, and Stats of the Week, I should say. All right, Phillies are 33-14. No National League team since the 1998 Braves has had a better record through a season's first 47 games. 33-14, all right?
That's
and that 1998 Braves was a pretty good team.
Yes.
All right, Phillies are unbeaten in 14 consecutive series.
That's unbelievable.
That's unbelievable.
That's awesome. You win in the series. We talk about that every show we've done since we've been together is winning the series. If we can possibly win the series, that's what you're looking at.
Exactly right. All right, the Phillies have scored 71 runs in the first innings of games this season, 12 more than the next closest team, the Texas Rangers. So we've scored 71 runs in the first innings. That is 28 more.
That's awesome, dude.
That's 28 more than the league average. And Phillies have scored first 32 times out of 47 games, and we are 24-8 when we score first.
Hey,
that's getting it done there.
Pretty good stat right there, Braze.
Phillies have
get them before they wake up.
Exactly right. Phillies have won the opener for the 13th time in the last 14 series. And again, you're putting pressure.
Yeah.
You win that first game, and that puts some pressure on the next team to get that second team.
Yeah.
All right. Do you remember when Keith Hernandez, who I saw, by the way, up in the broadcast booth?
They're the radio guy for him now, right?
Yep. But if you remember, in 2022, he said the Phillies are not up to it fundamentally. That was on August 10th, 2022.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Since that time, since Keith Hernandez said those words, I'm not sure if he sparked the team at that point, but since that time,
it didn't hurt.
The Phillies are 144 and 112. That's 563. We also have a National League championship, and we have 2 NLCS appearances. The Mets, meanwhile, since that time, are 123 and 129. That's a 488 and 0 postseason appearances.
We call that a kiss of death, maybe?
Yeah, how about that? Ready? All right, a couple other stats for you.
Stay hot, Keith.
Bryce Harper, with the bases loaded this season. He is 3 for 4 with 2 home runs, 1 double, 1 walk, and 11 RBIs.
Stay
How
hot.
about that?
Leave him alone, Braze.
Right?
Leave him
How
alone.
about that? And then finally, the last stat of the week is Ranger Suarez. All right, Ranger Suarez, we've talked about a lot. We'll probably still talk about him in this show.
He's Cool Hand Luke.
Cool Hand Luke is right. You know what? That's a great nickname for him. He has thrown – this is the craziest stat. He has thrown 129 changeups, right?
Yeah.
129 changeups.
I didn't throw 129 changeups in my career.
Guess how many hits he's given up on the changeup of the 129 changeups? How many hits do you think?
5.
1.
Holy crap!
He's given up 1 hit on the changeup. That's
a pretty filthy pitch. It is.
That's a crazy stat. Like crazy stat.
That means he's not selling. He's not giving it away. He's not showing anything. That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's a crazy
having
stat.
That type of stat right there, man. That's unbelievable. And Greg Maddux had a Bugs Bunny change. I don't even know if he ever did that.
And that's one of 6 pitches he has, right? So, Rangers can't say enough, and that's why we mentioned that Sanchez is our 5th pitcher, right? And we talked about Suarez, and we didn't even talk about Nola or Wheeler.
Everybody puts numbers on stuff like that. I mean, each one of those guys in their own right have pitched well enough to be, say to speak, your number 1 or 2 guy.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's all a number.
It's just I'm glad people try to rank guys that way, but, hey, man, I'm number 1. I'm pitching today. That's the way you look at it. I think that's the attitude of those guys, too. Today's day. Today's win day.
Today's win day.
Yep. So.
All right, so let's go through the week real quick because I know we're hopefully going to have some guests. But Manuel Rivera's game-winning pinch hit single in the 10th. We won't even go over this because on Sunday night we lost in the 10th.
I have a feeling that
we normally don't lose in the 10th. So we're scrapping that one, right? That was a bad loss.
Which one was that? That
was Sunday night.
Oh, I'm trying to remember that. That was against what, the Marlins?
7-6 against the Marlins.
Oh, okay, I got that.
Right, we were going for the sweep and couldn't quite sweep them.
Well, but you got to give a little bit of love. You got to give a little bit of love to Castellanos. He hit a 3-run homer that day.
He did.
Yes, he did. Got a little love. That's good enough. Now we can go.
All right. We might go to. Well, let's go through one more game, then we'll go to break. All right.
Yeah.
The game that I went up to was Monday. Went up with my department up to Citi Field, and
by the way, how many extra inning games we played this week? 4.
4, right?
Unbelievable.
Including this one. I went to this game. We go out to Citi Field, nice ballpark, right? A lot of Philly fans took over, and it was one of these games that just Yeah.
That could be dangerous, man.
Yeah, well, it was one of
you go up to Mets and come down here. Man, Mets and Philly fans get together. Hey, that could be exciting.
Yes. Well, we got off to a good start. We got off to a good start on Garrett Stubbs bunted the ball, so we get off to a 1-0 lead. But then it just felt after that maybe this wasn't going to be our night. We were in the stands watching.
Yeah.
And ends up being we go down 3-1. But then we start slowly coming back. Rojas gets a ground out 3-2, but then they go up 4-2 on a ground out, fielder's choice.
Yeah.
But then it all changed in the ninth. Stott homers, then Bohm gets hit by a pitch. Clemens scores, Merrifield is second, Marsh is third, and then we don't quite do it. We hold him down in the 10th, and then Stott hits a sacrifice fly. Harper scores.
I'll tell you, it couldn't happen to a better guy, too. Ain't nothing to me. I love beating the closer.
Well,
I love beating Diaz.
And we're going to talk about Diaz because I don't know if you saw it, but after that game, there's a guy, Frank the Tank. If you don't follow him on Twitter or X, whatever, you got to do it because Frank the Tank is a diehard Mets guy, and he films himself. And if you think I have meltdowns after bad losses, this guy completely melted down.
Hey,
and
he's worse than you?
He's worse than me.
Oh, my God.
It's worth everything to check out Frank the Tank. So
I'm going to have to do that.
You have to do that. All right. Let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk to former All-Star outfielder Dominic Brown. Very excited to talk to Dominic. You are listening to the Baseball Insiders Show presented by BCWSA. We're live from the CP Rankin Club at Citizens Bank Park.
1490 WBCB and 107.3 FM W297CL Levittown.
This is Tommy Greene from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. And here's the pitch. BCWSA water and sewer customers, you have a new and improved option to pay your bill that's convenient, reliable, and secure. Powered by Invoice Cloud, you can pay your bill 24/7 online, pay by text or phone, or sign up for AutoPay to avoid fees for late or missed payments. Visit bcwsa.net to sign up or for more info. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
Energy costs are skyrocketing. Now's the time to upgrade your old heater and air conditioning systems to more efficient units to save on your utility bills. Harris Comfort can also handle all your propane needs, as well as providing sales and service on whole house generators. Harris Comfort is still family owned and has been serving our area for over 60 years, providing sales, service, installation, and peace of mind. Call 215-788-4596 or go to harriscomfort.com. Harris Comfort, still family and still local.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, to get all your essentials in one place, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Hair Cuttery, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, R&J Smoothies and Juices, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one stop for all your shopping needs at South Oxford Valley Road and South Olds Boulevard in Fairless Hills.
At Penn Community Bank, we're in the business of building thriving communities. That means breaking down the barriers to home ownership, supporting fair, affordable access to housing from Philadelphia to the Lehigh Valley, like our Home Opportunity Mortgage that empowers eligible borrowers with no minimum credit score, no down payment, access to grant programs, and so much more. Visit PennCommunityBank.com/home for more details. Penn Community Bank. Here we grow. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. Account and feature terms, restrictions, and conditions apply.
With over 7,200 square feet of 200 brewers in stock at all times, Pat Dion Beverages now features 5 different flavors of their favorite slushy cocktails. You can also purchase all your wine, liquor, and other fine spirits right next door. Visit us on Facebook or online at patdionbeverages.com for upcoming events and samples from your favorite brewery or local food vendor.
We now return to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazer, and former pitcher from the 93 National League champion Phillies, Tommy Greene.
All right, we are back to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. We are live at the CP Rankin Club at Citizens Bank Park. I'm John Brazer, joined by Tommy Greene. And Tommy, we got one of my favorite people to wear a Phillies uniform, Dominic Brown.
Ain't
What's
it?
up, D.
Yes,
Brown?
sir.
Yes,
What's
he
going on,
is,
guys?
man.
All good?
Good to be on the show. What's going
Yeah,
on, Tommy?
always, man. Good to see you.
Now,
Yes, sir.
Dominic, I see
You look like you still be swinging.
Oh, for sure.
Well, I tell you what, it's funny. Dominic will call me or text me occasionally, right? But then oftentimes I'll just run into him. So I was going to the elevator lobby.
Well, you're losing that if you're running into him.
Well, yeah,
You're a big boy, man.
I would lose that one. I was in the elevator lobby. I forget what I was doing something, and I ran into you, right, coming to the
Right.
game. I remember last year during the concert, there
Yes,
was a
sir.
concert after the ballpark.
Great concert.
Who was it?
I forgot. It was I think
it wasn't
country.
Shaq, was it?
I don't think so.
Because
Was
Shaq did a post-game concert.
it? Nah, I don't
Was
think
this
so.
last year?
It was
Maybe
good.
maybe
2
was
years
it-
ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
But
Maybe
I ran into you last year,
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
a couple
yeah.
times.
And I brought you down
in
to the
playoffs.
field.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
good. It was really good.
All right, so Dominic, before we get into your career, let's talk about what you're doing now, because I know you're doing a lot with youth baseball.
Right, a lot. I'm trying my best, just trying to get kids better in the area and nationally. What I see in our area is it's a lot of talent in our area, but I don't think it's a lot of guys that are pushing it on the national level. So for me, I'm doing some stuff with the Philly Scout team as well on a national level, 17U. I have one team in the area. I also work at Diamond Baseball Academy doing one-on-ones, camps, clinics, all that stuff. I'm just trying to share and give some knowledge that I didn't get.
Yeah.
When I was younger.
Well, I know I didn't have it.
Right.
I just fortunate enough to have a good coach.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
And have you seen Ben Davis's kid?
Oh man,
Tate.
of course.
he a biggin?
Nothing but great. He's a biggin, but I mean, a lot of these kids they don't have the approach. Ben Davis being able to give that
Right.
to Tag
Well,
is
I
his
mean,
name, right?
yeah.
Tag Davis.
Tig, yep.
Being able to give that to the kid with that talent and ability, I mean, it speaks wonders. I always say, like,
Well,
these
the kid's got to buy into it, too. He's got to want to do it.
They have to, right? Like, you got all the technology now, so, I mean, the guessing part of it is out of the game. But at the same time, these kids don't compete like we used to back in the day either. So, you got to have a balance of both of them. But definitely that kid's going to be pretty special.
All right, so Tommy might have met this guy. We have a place down at the shore, and at Jersey Shore, you have the ice cream truck goes down there.
Okay.
And since my daughter and her friends were little, they'd only go to this ice. There's like 5 different ice cream trucks.
Okay.
But they'd only go to Howie because
Okay.
Howie would get them lollipops and this and that, right?
All right.
Well, Howie's
They
son.
know how it rolls. They
How-
get the free stuff.
Yeah, so Howie's son, we used to hang out with us as a little kid, right? And the ice cream guy, Howie, would keep giving me updates on his son. My son's on a
Okay.
travel team, and I don't have a kid that's playing baseball. So I
Got
don't,
you.
and it's kind of, I'm listening, but it's going,
Right.
well, next thing he's getting better and better. He's like, oh, by the way, Howie's got a scholarship to Miami, University of Miami.
Wow.
And,
Right.
and he had 2 no-hitters this year. Have you heard of a kid named Tate Darius?
No, I haven't.
No? At
I
Gloucester
haven't.
Catholic, I think.
Oh, that's
So,
why.
South
That's a lot
Jersey.
of great baseball.
Yeah.
That's what I had to do in the beginning was definitely, learn the area, figure out what schools were good.
Right.
And then kind of go from there. That Jersey is a hotbed when it comes
Oh,
to
yeah.
Yes,
a lot
they
of good
got some
players
good
came
ball
out of there.
players over there, man.
some big time baseball. So for me, the first couple of years, that's what it all was about for me, was just learning the area. I got with the Mascaro guys,
Yeah.
who were great guys
Yeah.
to get around.
Man,
He's
there's a
actually
lot
going
of.
to
I mean, it
Central
is a
Florida now.
hotbed, man.
It's a hotbed. It's
All right,
a hotbed.
so growing up, I know you grew up in Florida,
Yep.
right? And,
Correct.
was it
I grew up in Pasco County, outside
right?
of Tampa.
Okay.
Right. So
Yeah.
but then you moved to
Yep.
Atlanta area.
Yep,
That was another hotbed back in the day, too, with
Yes, sir.
Sheffield,
But-
Gooden, and all them boys.
But that
coming up.
moving to Atlanta kind of put you a little obscure, right? 'Cause
Okay.
You weren't on the. From what I heard, that if you had just stayed in Florida, like you would have been like a first-round draft pick or like Ben. I know.
I wish.
And people thought you were going to be a football player too,
Right,
because you
right.
were a big
I mean,
receiver.
I think
I can see
think
that,
personally,
man.
yeah,
I'd
yeah,
love
yeah.
to see you guys go get it.
I think
Go up and get that
personally,
thing.
our conference that we had in Florida wasn't anywhere close to the conference that we had in Atlanta.
Okay.
So we thought that it was a better move. I think that after seeing the Phillies the first time and then them seeing me in the next couple weeks, I learned a lot,
Right.
just for being there. You know what I mean? But I think it would have took me another year or two to like really develop. I was playing too much football and basketball.
And how close were you though to going to college to play football?
I was pretty close. I mean, my
Where
dad
were you
told
thinking
me
about going?
I was going to go to Miami to play football. And my dad told me draft day, like, either you're going to
Wide
get
receiver, or tight end.
probably going to
He
get
looked-
the
he looked-
He's probably going to be a tight end
Probably
when he got there. Going to beef you up,
yeah,
man.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, my God. I'd probably end up being – no telling what I would have been. Probably been a DN.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, no, that's what I personally think on my opinion. I think I still needed a year or two with development I think that I just was able to move so quick with the Phillies early on just because I had a lot of guys in my corner, man.
Sure.
And it felt great to have those old school guys. I always really worked well with old school coaches.
Yep.
You know, I like to work. I like to work hard, and that's what it's all about for me. I really had to learn a lot, though.
And that's a good thing for us, the guys that the way we come up was to work hard.
Right.
We still got to imply and put that towards the young guys.
You got it.
Because a lot of things, a lot of kids look for the easy way out.
Right. No, 100%.
It doesn't. You got to put in the time, man. You got talent. Some guys got talent. Some guys not.
Right.
Some guys got to work a little harder than other guys.
You got it, Tommy.
But the other guys still got to work. They could
it.
be so much better if they did work.
You got it.
You know, so we got to push that. You know, keep pushing that.
I mean, with the tech and like learning like the rapsodos and the hit tracks and all that stuff. Like I hit now.
You're speaking Chinese to me, dude.
Man,
all that
like
stuff.
it helps. It just takes the guessing out of the game. You know what I mean? Like especially for an instructor.
So if you were playing right now, you'd be obviously because you're teaching it, but you'd be a total analytics person out.
Nah, I think it's like.
Or do you take advantage of technology?
I take advantage of technology. So I got my iPhone 15 Max Pro.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's only a selected few apps that I'm going to use.
Right.
But I'm not going to say that.
Not the other 120.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's kind of like me too. I just learned a couple things.
Exactly. Like you got to be able to know how the body works. I didn't know all those things.
Take what you need and let the rest of it go
out. You got it. Like I'm old school at the same time, but I ain't going to still have that iPhone 8 with the home button still on there.
Right.
You know what I mean, bro?
Yeah.
Like that's just me just being honest. And I
like that old phone.
I personally think that's why some of the old guys are kind of getting out of baseball just because they don't want to learn. And that, you know, that part can be a little tricky because I love those guys and it's great. But at the same time, if we put $1 million in a kid, then we got to be you got to be able to help them out with how the body works.
And that's true. I mean, I look back in the days. I mean, talking about the technologies and stuff. You remember when the pitchers and catchers used to go into the office. I had John Vukovich back in the day.
Okay.
He run the pitcher catcher meeting.
Yes, sir.
As far as the scouting reports, they send in the scouting reports back in the day. It wasn't no computers.
Right.
You know, so
you got it.
And at the end of the meeting, he knew I was pitching that day because he put the lineup on the board for Focosi.
Right.
And as we walked out, I'd be the last one out, and he said, "Tommy, you pitching today?" I said, "Yes, sir." He says, "Forget everything we just said. High fastballs, hard sliders, go get them. Don't think."
Right.
I mean, it's about knowing your guys.
That's what I was about to say, though. Exactly.
Some guys, I was more of a guys. If I started too much, I was paralysis by analysis. I mean, it was about taking what I needed.
You got it.
And
Cliff Lee, same thing. Cliff Lee didn't want to. He was basically just the batter's going to have to go to my strengths.
Well, see, that's a good thing, Brace. I mean, I was always on the thing. If I do what and John Fuchs said, do what you do well.
Right.
And if I do what I do well,
right,
you're going to have a tough time.
Exactly.
And, you know, that's the thing.
I agree.
So, all right. So real quick, I know you were the #1 prospect at one point in Major League Baseball.
Yes, sir.
I mean, did that put a lot of pressure on you at that point? Or were you just like, you know what? You're like, I'm the #1.
Yeah, I would never really looked at it like that,
that's
honestly.
Good.
A lot of guys think that I did.
Right.
I kind of always been blessed with talent, skill set. I mean, I had 60-plus offers football-wise.
Sure.
I mean, skill set,
me,
body. Yeah,
right.
I mean, just
like that stuff I really didn't worry about.
Yeah.
My parents from 15, once I got to high school, they always said like, we'll keep the newspapers and all that stuff in the back pocket until you're done with your career. So I never really looked at that. I kind of wish that I did a little bit, though, because I think it would have made me a little bit more hungrier, just especially with playing in Philly. I'm not saying, just like I said with the iPhone, I don't need to look at everything, but sometimes I needed to get ticked off a little bit more, especially with me now being, close to 40. Like, I can be honest with you, sometimes I just didn't care enough about certain things, and I was spoiled. You know what I mean? I was the #1 guy as well. I didn't know that, but if it rained, I wasn't playing or something like that. I might have played 15 games straight, but it still, was a luxury to be, the #1 prospect. But I never really looked at that title. I was always about the guys in the clubhouse and all that stuff.
Talking about reading the papers and stuff like that. I know I read the paper. If I read the paper, because that's what we had. We didn't have the computer, the phones, and stuff.
Right.
The stuff. It was all about what the team did, the day before. If I was facing them, especially if they were coming in town for the first day, or something like that.
Yes, sir.
Hey, that was like, I stayed out of the paper.
Right. I stayed out of it too.
Stayed off the radio. I didn't listen to the radio talk show on the way in.
Me either.
Yeah, I didn't listen to none of that.
That's good.
See, I grew up in Florida, so all those things wasn't really a big deal.
Right.
Like the fans and all that stuff wasn't a big deal.
I think that's the biggest thing that you're teaching kids and stuff. I know coming up through the minor leagues, I was blessed to have the pitching coach I did with Leo Mazzoni and them in Atlanta. don't get in all of the situation around you.
Right.
Especially, I mean, as you go, the places get bigger, bigger, and bigger, but the game is not played any different.
Right.
The game is played right in front of you right here.
You got it.
So don't get caught looking up like this. Hey,
I agree,
right there.
I think I was so chill with certain things that I wish that I would have peeked around a little bit, because before I know it, it was like, boom, it was like, all right, you back to AAA. What happened?
Right,
you know what I mean?
They can't happen.
They can't tell me exactly what's going on either, right? Like I wanted them to, but they can't tell me as a young kid at that point exactly what was going on. I learned over time. Okay, you got stuck on your backside. You start spinning off the baseball. Once I started teaching, I started to really understand that. Yeah. And now it's like, all right, well, now I understand. Now you get some peace of mind. Now I want to go teach.
Yeah.
Now I want to be
give
able
it back
to input the same thing.
Let's talk about 2013, because man, you got off. You were. I mean, that's some of the best 3 months any players had a uniform in the last 20 years.
Right.
I mean, you were just bashing home runs,
getting it going.
Getting it going. Talk about that season, because you made the All-Star.
All right,
made the All-Star team.
First off, like, it felt normal to me with what I was doing in the minor leagues. I thought that's what it was going to be here for 10 plus years. All of us did, right? So I didn't feel like it was
baseball gods say, hey, here, try this.
Right. I didn't feel like it was anything new, honestly, Braves. Like, I felt like, I got called to AAA. I was hitting 360.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I didn't feel like that was a huge deal. I went to Arizona Fall League, tore that up. Like, I didn't feel like it was anything different. But it was a great year.
Hit ball, just what you did.
Right. I locked in. I had Wally Joyner. We talked about, we talked on a daily.
Hit too, dude.
You know what I mean? I had a lefty BP thrower, stuff that I look about now, that I'm like, okay, that had me also locked in with me not understanding, but also getting that lefty angle. You know what I mean? It had me locked in. That front half had to stay
Bonds
close.
trick. That's what
you got it. You got it.
Hey, tell me
I figured that out later on.
Woo!
Yep, that lefty on lefty, seeing those flips and BP, like that really helped me out a lot. I mean, that might have been, a really, really huge thing that I didn't even realize back then. But when you sit down and think about it thousands of times and, start over analyzing and figuring things out. But I was locked in, man. I was having fun.
It's fun. It's fun when it's like that.
I had a great clubhouse, too.
Yeah.
Like, I think that was, if I can pinpoint one thing that happened later on, I would say that would be the biggest thing, not having Jimmy and Chase and the guys around. I mean, they were right there, like when I see Greene.
Yeah.
If I'm in Cancun or whatever, like I'm used to being around Phillies guys, and I'm not saying that some of those guys wasn't. I'm just saying that the clubhouse that we had, my first couple years in the big leagues compared to when I got the keys to the car, it was a little different. And for me, that was very different coming into work every day and not being able to really talk to some veterans. We had a lot more guys that either they were super outgoing or they were like Grady, which I love Grady Sides more. But I was used to, really talking to Chase and the guys and getting in the cold tub and being able to shoot it with them, and they shoot it with me straight. Brownie, you need to tighten up. I also was used to that with Charlie. That was the best attribute about
Charlie's
him.
the best.
I'm like, Chuck.
Hey, one of the best things is knowing where you stand.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
And that's
exactly.
I know exactly where you come, because I was fortunate enough to play for Gosi and a general manager, Lee Thomas.
Right.
Old Mad Dog, what we called him. They were straight shooters, man.
Exactly.
And that's all you want.
That helped me out.
And I played for Bobby
way.
Cox, too, and he was the same.
Right.
He was a manager GM.
Right.
So, I mean, it's –
man, you know
where you stand.
You get in there with Charlie. I'm like, Chuck, why I ain't playing? Brownie, you got to play better.
Yeah.
You got to play better.
But I think
like,
the current team right now is awesome. Well, you guys just talked about Cox and Charlie.
You got it.
But I think the current team right now, they know where Rob Thompson will tell them where they stand.
You got it.
And you can tell this team, just like those teams back then and that Braves team back then and your 93 team, you guys all loved each other and hung out with each other and would go to war with you guys to get in that foxhole. And that's what you're seeing out there now.
You got it. I was trying to do way too much. You know what I mean? I was trying to control some of those things in there. I was too young for that.
Yeah.
Go out and play your game. But I also was seeing guys that was just wanting to do their thing. And I'm like, I wasn't used to that. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted everybody to hang out and do all that stuff. But,
dude,
that's where the game –
that's where the game changed.
Yes, sir.
All right,
from my team to woo.
Yes, sir.
Well, D. Brown, I really appreciate by the way, you're filling in for Bull today, right?
Yes, sir. I'm going to work, man.
Greg's on hip.
You're out there.
Bull has hip replacement surgery.
Dickie was out there the other day.
I know.
Yes, sir.
So if you're coming to the game today, you're on your way in. Stop by Bull's Barbecue.
Please.
See Dominic Brown. Say hi.
That's all.
All right, D. Brown, thanks
for having
buddy.
me, guys.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much.
To you, brother.
Yes, sir.
All right, the great Dominic Brown. Coming up on the show, we're going to get you set up for today's game. You're listening to the Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. We are live at the CP Rankin Club at Citizens Bank Park.
BCWSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing or two about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your service area. You can even customize your alerts by going to bcwsa.net. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, your partner for a safer environment. BCWSA, proven.
Energy costs are skyrocketing. Now is the time to upgrade your old heater and air conditioning systems to more efficient units to save on your utility bills. Harris Comfort can also handle all your propane needs, as well as providing sales and service on whole house generators. Harris Comfort is still family owned and has been serving our area for over 60 years, providing sales, service, installation, and peace of mind. Call 215-788-4596 or go to harriscomfort.com. Harris Comfort, still family and still local.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, to get all your essentials in one place, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Hair Cuttery, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, R&J Smoothies and Juices, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one stop for all your shopping needs at South Oxford Valley Road and South Olds Boulevard in Fairless Hills.
Think banking hasn't changed? Think again. At Penn Community Bank, we've been helping communities thrive for 150 years. From our nationally recognized Access Checking that offers the peace of mind of no overdrafts, to student and free checking plus options with perks that will make you wonder what you did without them, like early direct deposit, overdraft grace, and Zelle. Learn more at PennCommunityBank.com/products. Penn Community Bank. Here we grow. Account and feature terms, restrictions, and conditions apply. Ask for full details. Member FDIC.
With over 7,200 square feet of 200 brewers in stock at all times, Pat Dion Beverages now features 5 different flavors of their favorite slushy cocktails. You can also purchase all your wine, liquor, and other fine spirits right next door. Visit us on Facebook or online at patdionbeverages.com for upcoming events and samples from your favorite brewery or local food vendor.
We now return to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazer, and former pitcher from the 93 National League champion Phillies, Tommy Greene.
All right, we are back to the Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. We are live at the CP Rankin Club at Citizens Bank Park. I'm John Brazer, joined by my co-host Tommy Greene, Chris Ermer on the controls over here. Love Dominic Brown,
hey,
right? Just what a good guy.
Dude, man.
Really good guy. Looking forward to having him around. He lives in the area. If you have kids out there that are looking to get some big league instruction, Dominic Brown is your man. He actually worked with a good friend of mine's son, who is now going to be pitching in college next year. So
yeah, that's good.
All right, so here's your lineup when the Fightin' Phil's going for the sweep. All right, Fightin' Phil's going for the sweep. We got Abrams, arguably their best player, I would think, right?
I'll tell you what, he has a little fire and spark to that ball club, you know. It's pretty exciting. If you like to watch baseball, he gives you some action, man.
He is a good player. Again, C.J. Abrams came over in the trade.
Yeah, Soto trade.
In the Soto trade, right?
Along with Mackenzie Gore.
Mackenzie Gore, exactly right. All right, we got Ildemaro Vargas playing second base. He is hitting .320. Switch hitter.
Yep.
You got Rosario playing right field, somewhat of a Phillies nemesis, although he's only hitting .178. Feels a lot worse against us. They got Garcia DHing, batting fourth. Nick Senzel playing third base, former Red, batting fifth. Joey Gallo, first base. He's an all-for-nothing guy, hitting .123. A lot of strikeouts, but he's got power. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, leave him alone.
Sorry, Ruiz, Winker, and Young. That is the and let me just tell you some stats against
Williams.
No, against NOLA.
Oh, against NOLA?
Because NOLA's going today.
Okay.
So against NOLA, pretty much, let's see, Garcia's has nothing going on.
Yeah.
Really, I was looking at all the different guys. Rosario is is hitting 0.95 against him. Robles hitting 182. Ruiz 214. Winker's 158. Vargas doesn't have a hit.
Yeah.
The highest batting average is Meneses, who's got 333.
Yeah.
So, and Meneses not even in the lineup. So there you have it. All right, the Fightin' Phils. Fightin' Phils lineup is Bohm. No, not Bohm. What am I doing here? Here's the lineup. Sorry.
Yeah.
Schwarber. Sorry. Hey, Tommy, we get a right-handed pitcher. Right?
How about that? We have been facing a lot of lefties, haven't we?
Here's a right-handed pitcher. We are going up against Trevor Williams. So Schwarber is leading off with his 9 home runs, and it hasn't even got hot yet. When it gets hot outside,
it's not June.
He's going to get hot. And speaking of hot, Bryson Stott batting second.
Wow.
So we're gonna stack it with lefties against a righty since we're not used to.
He's up to 280 right
righties.
now. He's rolling.
Yes, 280. Bryce Harper, speaking of rolling, leading the team with 10 home runs. Left-handed batter, obviously. 263, 33 RBIs, batting third. Boom. Probably the most clutch hitter on the team. Cooled off a little bit, but not really. He's still the man. He's hitting
330.
329, right? 4 home runs. Stay hot, Cody Clemens, because he is now being rewarded as a left-handed batter, and his power and his production. He is batting 5th, playing second base, hitting 304. He's got 3 dingers. Castellanos is batting 6th. He is batting 194, but hopefully he's going to be.
Struggled of late, but he got on a good run there.
Yep.
His time, he can turn it around, though.
Marsh against the righty batting 7th, which is going to be fun. Stubbs in the lineup, batting 8th, and Rojas batting 9th, 228. So now some of the numbers that stick out against Williams, right? Because Williams used to pitch for the Pirates, right? A little bit of the Mets, and now the Nationals. So one of the numbers that sticks out is Castellanos. He's got 34 at-bats against him.
Yeah.
He's got 2 home runs, batting 382.
Well, maybe he might be the right recipe maybe to get Castellanos rolling a little bit.
Could be a Castellanos game. Bohm's hitting 200 off him. Clemens has 3 at-bats, no hits. Harper's hitting 214. Marsh 286. Merrifield only 3 at-bats, but 667. Real Muto.
He's not playing.
Real Muto's not playing, but maybe if he comes in with pinch hit, he does have 3 dingers off him in 12 at-bats. So it's a shame, but
417.
He's a guy if he's needs a big 417.
Yeah, they got to give him the days off now. With that knee he's got going on.
Rojas 500 and Schwarber has 6 home runs against him. 6 home runs and 42 at bats.
Oh, so
that's
you might
pretty good.
So you might be able to be looking out for fireworks like the first pitch or 2 of the game.
Every 7 at bats, he hits a home run against Trevor Williams. Let's hope he's hitting 286.
Yep.
The other guys not enough at bats. Stott and Stubbs. So that is your lineup again. It is Schwarber, Stott, Harper, Bohm, Clemens, Castellanos, Marsh, Stubbs, Rojas facing Trevor Williams. Trevor Williams is an interesting. He's got a really good ERA.
Yeah.
He's got a
the Nationals has played pretty good ball, man.
Yeah. Yes, they have, and so his mix-up, his pitching, he based 36% of the time. He's throwing a 4-seam fastball.
Yeah.
And it's not especially hard. It's 89. It's actually, for a 4-seamer, it's not.
No.
But he incorporated a sweeper, which is 77 miles per hour. That's 18% of the time. 18% of the time he throws a changeup at 83. He throws 13% throws a slider at 81, and he also throws a sinker at 13% of the time. So he's got 5 pitches. So basically he's a pitcher that throws the guys off. But if you're,
he's a pitcher, dude. He's having a good start to his year. He pitches, and that's the unsung thing. You don't have to throw 100 to get people out.
Nope.
And it's sort of a breath of fresh air these days to see guys that do that. So which is good.
Yep. All right, Tommy. Let's go around baseball a little bit. Let me give you a little news from way back when. Okay. There was a guy
talking about my ear.
What's that?
Way back when?
Well, no, before that.
Oh, really?
Because we're talking Connie Mack here.
Okay.
All right. Ed Walsh was a pitcher. Now, again, back in the day, pitchers would do a spitball with no gumption, and there would be no authority. They basically, you can lick your hands.
Oh, you can do whatever.
Yeah, so Ed Walsh was particularly nasty. Lick the baseball, right, and then throw his spitball, right?
There, hit it. It was just part of the pitch, part of pitching.
Yeah, well, they're playing in Philadelphia, and Connie Mack had an idea. So he had his ball boy go over and rub that game ball in horse manure. So Ed Walsh, when he took the mound, and the first time he licked the ball, it caused him to vomit all over the mound. So I guess the trick worked. So that's why Connie Mack was the man he was.
Oh, my God.
All right.
Everything goes back in those days, it seemed like.
Everything goes. All right, Tommy, how about this one? What are the odds of this one? All right. We just had the Preakness yesterday, with odds.
I didn't even know that.
What are the odds of this happening? A Mariners fan caught 2 foul balls on consecutive pitches Monday night.
Where was he
2
sitting
foul
at?
balls. I think it was kind of like left, like beyond third base, off like left of the left field wall.
Okay.
But he caught 2 foul balls on consecutive pitches. What are the odds? Who knows?
That's something the FanDuel might do. They bet on everything now.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Speaking of foreign substances, Blanco, Houston continues to not be the most upstanding team.
Yeah, how about that?
First, they had the trash can. Now they got one of their young pitchers, Blanco, was ejected and banned for 10 days for using a foreign substance.
Yeah.
All right. All right, let's go in the minor leagues.
Stay hot.
David Dahl. David Dahl is an all-star for Colorado. We picked him up in the offseason.
Yeah.
Big lefty. We saw him in spring training. He became the 3rd player in Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs history to hit for the cycle. He did that on Wednesday.
Oh, did he?
David Dahl. We have some depth down there. I'm telling you. With Weston Wilson, with David Dahl, with
Got
Kingery.
some guys with some thump.
Kingery's. Well, look, check out Kingery's stats.
I haven't seen this. How's he doing?
Doing very well.
That's
He's got
awesome.
some power.
Good for him.
Yep.
Good for him.
We are. We're seeing the depth right now with Cody Clemens, and with Turner going down. Hopefully, we don't need to use that depth, but it's nice to have that. But also, who knows? Maybe it's a trade chip that we can trade surplus for some of these guys.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I want those guys to play good down there.
Right.
Because if they're looking for that guy that maybe could put us over the top.
Yep.
Whatever they're looking for, he'll appear if they're looking for anything.
See what our situation is there.
Yeah.
All right.
It's good to have those guys going down there.
How about Paul Skeens? I think I said it right. Skeens.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
His second start, he allowed just 1 base runner. He struck out the first 7 batters, and 12 of his pitches were over 100 miles per hour. And he dates Olivia Dunn, the LSU gymnast, who's a social media star. Paul Skeens.
He's over his skis.
Stay hot. All right.
He is hot.
Luis Gill for the Yankees struck out 14 to set a Yankees franchise record for a rookie versus the White Sox. How about, speaking of rookies, I think it's Shota Imanaga, who's the Cubs rookie pitcher from Japan.
Oh, he's a special
Well,
dude,
Yamamoto
man.
got all the accolades. Yamamoto. Well, Imanaga lowered his ERA to 0.84 on Saturday. He threw 7 shutout innings. It's the lowest mark through a pitcher's first 9 career games since ERA became an official stat in 1913. Fernando had a 0.91
yes,
ERA.
Yes, he did.
So
Fernando, man.
He is off to the hottest start any pitcher's ever had since 1913.
And he's a special, a left-hander. You know what? He doesn't pitch like, but it reminds me of Ranger.
Yep.
A little bit.
Oh, yeah.
He's a pitcher.
He's a
pitcher. It's not that he throws 95, 7, 6, 7, 8. Ranger pitches. That guy does the same thing.
He does the same thing.
But he's got a 4-seam fastball. He gets on top of it to be a lefty.
Yep.
But he changes speeds. He's got a fastball that kind of jumps.
And messes with everybody.
It's unbelievable.
All right, we already talked about Edwin Diaz. He's blown 2 consecutive game chances with the trumpet going. 3 of the last 4.
Stay hot, kid.
They squandered a 4-run lead last night. He's got a 10.80 ERA. And Frank the Tank is going apoplectic. So there you have it. Well, that wraps up today's Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA live from CP Rankin Club at Citizens Bank Park. Love to thank Craig Rankin for hosting us. Thanks to my co-host Tommy Greene, our on-site engineer Chris Ermer. Back in the studio, Stephen Lawler. Thanks to our guest today, Dominic Brown. We'll be back next Sunday from 2 to 3 for our first 2024 show at Keenan's in North Wildwood. If you're down the Jersey Shore, stop by before the Phillies take on the Rockies. Until then, have a great night. And as the late, great Harry the K says,
we're out of here.
Phillies baseball on 1490 WBCB and 107.3 FM, W2.